Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Just That I am playing Final Fantasy XIV. Last episode we ran into the biggest cockblock in the world, which is just that I need to do a dungeon at the end of the patches, basically, kind of, before I can finish my relic weapon, so we then decided to move over to some extreme trials and also the Cause of Bahamut. But first, more extreme trials. The Maelstrom has sent word of a mountain-shaking tremor felt by every man and beast in the northern half of Vilbrand. I, the kobolds, have awoken the Lord of Crags, and this shuddering arrival doth echo with the highest strength shown by his sister Primal. Seek thee out, High Storm Commander Rashad Riki at Maelstrom Command, in Limsa. Thy path leads once more to the stony feet of Titan. Can I get the other thing too? No, it's just Primal Awakening. Okay. Let's go back to Limsa. Limser, he heard. I don't know why I keep doing this. Send help. Alright, it's not residential. I want to go to the Aft Castle. Wake me up before you go, Moreau. Also, I have a cat doing zoomies behind me right now, which is only mildly distracting. Ah, Lieutenant there. Glad I am to see you answer our desperate summons. As you have no doubt heard, the kobolds have, it seems, yet again called forth the primal Titan within their mountain abode. The recent quaking of the land can be attributed to no other, and considering the intensity of the tremor, we can be assured that Urianje's warnings concerned to the enhanced power of the primals are far from idle. We Maelstrom officers would, of course, like naught better than to shatter the belligerent old boulder ourselves, but we cannot risk losing our soldiers to tempering. Once again, we must turn to the seasoned veterans of the Silence. According to our readings, the rumblings are strongest in the navel. Titan's usual haunt within the Gomera mines. You should be able to enter the Primal's domain by reattuning to the Beastman Aetheryte found within the Kobold's territory in Outer Lanosh. After the previous defeat of the Great Father, you can wager they've recalibrated their crystal. May you crash against the stubborn rock with the fury of 1,000 waves. But meanwhile, I have what the hell is this? What? There we go. Ah, this place. I've been here too many times. Yeah, like the freaking Beast Tribe quests in combination with the relic weapon stuff, I've just been here too much. Alright, Sugamaro, Aetheryte. There we go. Time for Titan. I will be right back. You know, sometimes in life you can get just really lucky. And just get an insta-pop. Once again, cutscene is identical, so there's no point in watching it again. At that point, you would just be wasting the time of everybody around you. Okay. So, Titan. Extreme is a very infamous extreme. Known for, a lot of stuff. So, the beginning of the fight is relatively similar. Titan, of course, hits harder than he does in his normal or hard versions. Landslides are going out a little bit faster, I think, compared to the other versions of the fight. He just in general does more damage. The platform instantly becomes a lot smaller after the first stomp. And then I think at the moment he's going to do landslide times 3 over here, so they become more difficult to avoid, and if you fall off, like if you get hit, you're gonna fall off and die. Back in Ye Olde Day, that would also result in you not being able to get back up. You would not be able to get rest, basically. When it comes up, he will stand near his butt because he's gonna knock you away. Afterwards, he's going to do some landslides, so keep that in mind. Another thing with those jails, 2 people are going to get marked to get jailed. Those 2 people need to be away from each other. If they are too close to each other, then the jails will get a vulnerability down, meaning that they're going to be a lot more difficult to defeat before the timer runs out and people die. There we go. So much freaking knowledge. Like, there's a lot of stuff to be talked about in extremes. They're instantly a lot more complicated than anything from before. Then we get a lot of these weight of the world things. More jails. The thing that also usually happens is that the healer who gets hit with a jail, because it's always one of the healers, the healer who gets hit with a jail is going to go to the back, while the DPS would go to the butt of Titan. That's usually the technique. Alright. As tank, the battle doesn't really amount to much until we reach this point, where the off-tank needs to go and grab the granite jailers, and then the DPS need to focus them down. Keep them on the edge, because whenever they die, they're going to leave a little puddle of death. These bomb boulders work the same as in... oh boy. Work the same as in normal. One set's gonna blow up, and then the other set. Just keep an eye out on when they drop. Mountain Buster is going to give you a physical vulnerability up whenever it hits you. Mountain Buster is the tank buster then. It is also a cleave, so aim a Titan away from the party. Right. You can swap at either 2 stacks or 3 stacks. I usually swap at 3 stacks, because that's just how I've always done it, really. You can survive the attacks as long as you use your cooldowns at the correct moment. Which is kind of difficult to do when you don't really know the time where Titan attacks you. And then you need to tank swap, because once the other tank has 3 of those physical vulnerability up, it's probably gonna kill you after that point, unless if you use an invulnerability. Also, some people die during that attack. That is also because there's a lot of landslides at that point. This, in my opinion, is like the part where the Titan fight actually becomes difficult, I would say. Before, it's kind of manageable, for the most part. And there we go. Not bad at all. Once again, don't need to look at that cutscene. Oh my god, we got a mount drop, my friends. However, I am not the only one who is new. Let's see, how much did I roll? Oh, I got it! Nice. Cool. Now we check it out. We got one of them horses. Titan displayed a most satisfying degree of destructive power. The intensifying effects of the ritual foci are undeniable. Powerful though this incarnation was, the Primal's eventual defeat was not unexpected. The burgeoning strength shown by the Bringer of Light, however, has grown beyond reckoning. Such a demonstration of force serves us still. It invites ever greater retaliation. Yes, as the light burns brighter, so too are the shadows steeped deeper in darkness. Alright. So, what does this particular mount involve? It is a horse, but then an earth horse with some nice effects to it. And that is all. That is all. Let us go back to Maelstrom Command. Oh, that's not Maelstrom Command, this is... Oh no, it is Maelstrom Command. Oh, whoopsie. Right. The rumblings have ceased. It seems that no matter how powerful the Lord Cracks becomes, you and your companions are up to the task. Yes? You found something of interest in the navel? And we get a gruesome ritual tool fashioned from the bones of a kobold. Is this bone? And such a grotesque design. Honestly, I will never understand the kobold's sense of aesthetics. You say you acquired a similar object after your battle with Garuda? Then we must consider the possibility that these trinkets are responsible for the primal's appalling new strength. But I shall leave such conclusions to those more learned in the subject than I. Pray return to the waking sands, and convey my greetings to Oriange. Pray return to the waking sands. A classic. A novel. Pray return to the waking sands. A novel. Or the musical. Whatever. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I'm also going to get this next skill for my chocobo. Chocobo. Right. Hey, there's a ball over here. Good old potato bots. That is what people call them, yes. The potato bots. Right. What in God's name is happening behind me? Oh, I see. So, the Lord of Cracks was also possessed of unprecedented vigor, and I was returned with yet another curiosity of bone. The kobolds are not known for fashioning objects in this matter. What is more, its construction doth bear a striking resemblance to that of the trophy recovered by thee from Garuda's lair. The fleshless remains of beastmen worshippers. This is the material common to both of these foreboding ritual tools. What unsavory sorcery had the paragons bequeathed to their unsuspecting pawns? There's yet another commonality to this augmentation of the primals that concerns me. That is thee, Linda there. For every mountain thou doth conquer, I am struck by the answering waxing impotency of the primals. The pattern is too clear to ignore. Such a cycle bodes naught but ill for the realm. I must unlock the true nature of these immortal entities ere the land is once more racked with ruin. And, as always, thou art my stoutest ally in the gathering of the requisite keys. Ifrit ain't broke. We are fortunate that the Lord of Inferno hath yet to rear his horned head. I fear, however, that reports of his return will not be long in the coming. My quest for knowledge yet remains unfinished, but such a task can only properly be undertaken in a world unracked by chaos. Let us bow to inevitability and prepare ourselves for what will undoubtedly turn into another blistering trial. Pray visit High Commander Swift at the Hall of Flames in Ul'dah and advise him that the fiery primal will likely soon be among us once more. Mayhap with a measure of foresight we can lessen the impact of Ifrit's arrival. To the Hall of Flames, where the big boys really are, and some other stuff. It's the Hall of Flames. Right. Land of the Scions, your timing is most fortunate. Allow me to brief you on the situation. Both the Maelstrom and the Order of the Twin Adder informed us of their recent troubles with disturbingly powerful primals. And, as these incidents ever occur in threes, we immediately sought to gather intelligence on Amalja activity. We lost contact with the first reconnaissance party assigned to the task. I then deployed one of our elite units to learn the fate of the missing scouts, but they also have failed to report back. In their most recent missive, my elite troops declared their intention to investigate the Ball of Embers. Though they may have been overwhelmed by the Lizardmen, we must consider the possibility that the Lord of the Inferno has reclaimed his dominion. It is with some measure of wounded pride, then, that I must request your aid. Assemble a group of your companions and strike into the heart of Amalja territory in southern Thanalan. If Ifrit has indeed returned, you are to banish him back to the Ether by whatever means is necessary. You will likely have to renew your bond with the Zaharak Aetherites to enter the Ball of Embers. The Lizardmen have undoubtedly realigned to their crystals since you last felt their god, and unfortunately that means cutting your way through a goodly number of their sentries to reach it. The Grand Company of the Immortal Flames is no stranger to sacrifice when it comes to battling the primals, but the struggle costs far too many lives, and often creates a host of near-tempered enemies. You and your unique talents, however, can spare the families of our soldiers that grief. I will pass on news of your involvement in this mission to the Scions myself. Should our primal fears prove substantiated, then I pray your efforts meet with success. That was a lot of words. Alright. All I hear is Katsumis. It's freaking cat, I swear. Ba-dum-ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. If it ain't broke. I do find it a little bit annoying that they make you go back to the Aetheryte every single time. But you know what, it wouldn't be the first thing in ARR that's kind of annoying. As unfortunate as it may sound, it's kind of the truth. Also, the EX that we are, or like the extreme, people just say EX. The extreme that we are about to do is, in my opinion, well, from these three, it is the most difficult one. It's also the last one, you know. Coincidence? Time for Ifrit. Ifrit. Let's go and see if people are ready. And they... Come on. Yes, they are. Good. Time to go and deal with the Bowl of Embers. Which is also an insta-pop, because usually Realm Reborn extremes pop pretty damn quickly. And when we're already with 6 people, even more so. Alright. Let's go and skip this cutscene once again, because it is just the same cutscene from before. Phew. Ifrit is a little bit more complicated. So, the way that Ser Ifrit works is that whoever is tanking him is gonna have to swap. Like, we're gonna have to swap, basically, the 2 tanks every now and again because of a certain debuff. Let me show it off when we get it. Another thing that's gonna happen, by the way, is Inferno Howl. One of the healers is gonna get marked with this thing, which does damage over time to them and also makes them blow up and hit people around them. So you usually want to stay away from the spot that is marked, like the A spot over there. Another thing that happens is whenever you destroy an Inferno Nail, it's going to give everybody a vulnerability stack for like 3 seconds. So you want to avoid killing them all at the same time. Another thing that just happened is that Aoi, my main tank, has just acquired the separation stack. I do not remember when you need to swap, but I'm just going to swap at 2. In any case, the more of the stacks that he has, maximum HP is reduced and damage taken is increased. So the more of these he has, the more that he's just going to die. Basically. The higher the chances are that the next hit is probably gonna kill him. Another thing that happens is, of course, Hellfire, which is his ultimate move. And then he's going to do something else. I'm not sure if he's actually... I think we're already past that point. Yeah, we are. We skipped a mechanic. But there is another mechanic that we may see. I don't know quite yet. Since we're not doing it minimum item level, we will not see all of the mechanics. And all I can hope is that Aoi's going to swap with me now. Thank you. Because otherwise I was going to die. Try to stay away from the healer who's blowing up. Unfortunately, there's a nail right next to him. And now people are just going to walk over there. I think he just lost the debuff though, so it's fine. Then we have this little mechanic. A Prison of Fire, reducing damage dealt and inflicting fire damage over time. You need to be close to each other to lower the amount of damage. Like, to lower the effect, basically. So many things. Like, Ifrit is, in my opinion, one of the more intense ones. Let's go and swap again. And then Radiant Plume. There's a couple of safe spots. You're fast enough you can avoid it, otherwise you're gonna take a lot of damage. That is for sure. And then, at the end, we have even more nails, with a big one in the middle. This honestly is a really messy fight, in my humble opinion. But this isn't even the most difficult one from around the board. Alright, Aoi, thank you for swapping. There we go. Just take care of these nails one by one, so that you don't, you know, start stacking up these freaking vulnerability ups. Because they are really nasty. I need to keep an eye out on Aoi's debuffs, and down he goes. Okay. Oh! Yikes. Yeah. People got freaking... I'm gonna hella grant, because... Yeah, people got really fucked. So Aoi died, and then I had the... well, I was on the other side of the arena. And the resulting situation was that Ifrit decided to cleave most of the party, and it does a lot of damage against them. Everything, basically. In any case, it doesn't matter too much, because we won regardless. A really, really messy fight. But it is fine. And that, my friends, are all of the extremes at this point. We have done Ultima's Ballot. We have done Ifrit, we have done Garuda, and we have done Titan. Alright. Ifrit was reborn with the strength of 1,000 raging infernos, and yet you vanquished him. I can offer you naught but praise, Bringer of Light. Ever prepared for confrontation? Good. Those instincts serve us well as they serve you. What meaning hides within this constant pursuit of ever greater strength? Have you paused to dwell on its significance? However you might choose to justify your actions, it seems you have tested the very limits of these three primal avatars. Again, such furious response. They do not make us as clear. As amusing as such might prove, we do not come to trade blows with you. This meeting is at an end. We must thank you for your most enlightening display. Oh, you have learned much. The destiny we seek draws closer, ever closer. How much longer can you stem the tide of darkness, Bringer of Light? How well will you fare against a god to reawaken? Against the next god to reawaken? They saith. Right. So, the Inferno Primal has returned after all. It is well... Whoops. It is well that you set out prepared for the worst. Come now, Lyn. You must describe your epic encounter in detail, that we might revise our tactics for future engagements. Any information could prove useful. Well now, this is an ominous relic. While the Amalja are known for their barbaric trinkets, I sense something is different about this one. I see, so it is the third such object you have discovered within the domain of a primal. It certainly seems feasible that it played a role in Ifrit's enhanced volatility. Return with your trophy to the Waking Sands, and pray bid Urianger to continue his investigations. Our eternal gratitude to you both. Oh, whoops. I can't leave, I need to disband. There we go. I don't know why I need to... Oh, because it's a crossroad party, I guess. I don't know, it's weird. Alright. Time to listen to ye old man of Doth. The report from the immortal flames hath flown before thee. Dost thou return once more, bearing a curious tool of ritual magics? Yes. Ah yes, it doth most closely resemble the others in form. And I dare say in function. The bone is, of course, a Magi in origin. The servants of darkness reveal themselves today. I am put in mind of Archon Lusor's words. Yet ever shall primal desires burn. For burn they shall, with the Ascians ever toiling to stoke the fires. We are fortunate. Their carelessness, or their careless taunting, hath provided us with certainty, where before there existed only conjecture. It is unfortunate, however, that thy actions served the Ascians' purpose so well. Whenever thou slayest our primal foes, the beastmen seek to raise ever more ferocious gods. And now it seems their ceaseless ambitions are answered only by living sacrifice. Each ritual object thou didst recover is a manner of focus, a tool fashioned from the bones of a willing worshipper. These foci contained the vast etheric power generated by the fervent prayers of a beastman zealot in the moment of his death. This power was then poured into each primal during the rite of summoning, thus giving rise to the augmented avatar thou didst engage. To free us from the threat of the primals in truth, we must needs discover an escape from this endlessly escalating cycle of conflict. Such an answer will not, I fear, be readily attainable. So as long as understanding eludes us, there is no recourse but to continue with the slaying of primals. The ether they invariably hoard must be released back into the land. As the beastman deities wax ever more potent, it is a sad necessity that the nurturing of thine own strength cannot be ignored. An action that thou must take, even though it doth quicken the plans of the paragons. One of the paths to inexorable might hath ever been the pursuit of sturdy arms and armor, and in that endeavor I may be able to assist thee. Jesus, that was a lot of words. Fancy words, magic man. To tussle with gods. If thou art to weather these constant clashes against ever more potent primals, then thou must reforce arm thyself. Perforce arm thyself. That's a word. With extraordinary weapons. I have concluded negotiations with one Rowena, a merchant who doth abide at Revenant's toll. In exchange for the ritual object thou hast collected, she hath promised to provide thee with a selection from her stock of unique armaments. Why would she consent to purchase these unsavory trophies? It is a simple question of infamy. Certain of her clientele are like to salivate, whatever, at the very thought of possessing such forbidden items. There are few who can lay claim to the ownership of a ritual tool employed in the summoning of a primal. Yep. There's no cause for alarm. Any power the objects once held has long been surrendered to the summoning deities. Unless thou worry on my account, I have gleaned from them what wisdom we required. I return to thee thy hard-won prizes. Heed thee... That's it. Heed thee to revenants tall in Mordona. I was about to say more ordained. And see them swiftly into Rowena's hands. We will do this one in a moment, but I'm first going to unlock this one. When the scenery moon did wane, there sounded a blood-curdling roar. A new primal had roused. The portent gave us to believe one whose identity yet lieth beyond our ken. By thy hand, 3 primals have since been vanquished. As each returned to the ether, 'twas observed that tremors foreshadowing this fourth grew in strength and frequency both. The being doth quicken, and in time it shall become a scourge upon the land. Yet even as we pondered a course of action, a benevolent soul did arise, one who would forestall this threat. Though she be tender in years, she is true of heart and steadfast of resolve. She would solicit thine aid, if thou art willing to proffer it. Lest thou wonder, this maiden is of our order. Thus did the antecedent straightways consent that thou shouldst assist her howsoever thou mayest. I love this. As soon as thou art able, heed thee to Wineport, where thy petitioner doth await thee even now. Thou shalt for a certainty find her visage strikingly familiar. Right, before we do that, let's first go to Mordona. Rowena! Oh, Rowena! You magnificent bitch! Greetings, adventurer. So you're the one as hopes to trade some primal curiosity, are you? Rianche is guaranteed their authenticity. So why don't you let old Rowena have a look at these ritual objects of yours? Get a load of this. Carved from beastman bones, just like you described. Well, I'd be lying if I said these trinkets didn't make my skin crawl like a dynamite in my undergarments. In case you misunderstand, that's an expression of high praise, lass. My customers will be gutting each other in the streets for a chance to purchase your trophies. Show them to Larina, my acquisitions officer, and she'll walk you through the transaction. Okay. God damn you, Rowena. You promised me a life of excitement in the exotic land of Mordona, and here I am, stocking your shelves like a trained dope. May I help you, miss? What in the 7 unholy hells are those gruesome things? Beastman ritual tools? You adventure and you're penchant for stowing the most disgusting souvenirs in your packs, blah. And that goes twice for Rowena for wanting to stock the stuff, and thrice for her adult customers for begging to buy it. That's neither here nor there. Whatever it is that drives you folk also fills my purse with coin. Now. This freaking cat. Were you seeking to trade for aught in particular? Ah, the special weapons we're dealing, is it? Here, take a few of these tokens, and you'll be able to exchange them for any arms you fancy. If you're one of those completionist types, then you'll no doubt want an entire armory of the things. Just bring me another set of those stomach-churning ritual tools, and I'll see you rewarded with more tokens. Best up to it. Right, so now we have a repeatable quest to Primal Focus, where you can fight those 3 primals again and get even more of these Rowena's tokens. Can be redeemed for a superior weapon of your choice. I think that this is with Alina. Right? No? I don't know. Jod's Masterworks, Ironworks, Gear, nope. Rowena's token exchange. There we go. So then we have stuff like the Break Blade. That looks ugly. The Jewel Haken, which looks fine. It actually reminds me a lot of a weapon that I used to use, but then just a little bit more shiny. Balmung for a class that we do not yet have unlocked, but it does look pretty snazzy. The Holy Lance. That's funny. It looks pretty bad though. Hellish Claws. Yikes. The Air Knives. They actually look kind of nice. The Elfin Bow. Ugh. The Peacemaker. The Elder Staff. The Omnitome. Oh my god! I never knew that this weapon existed. That's horrifying. The Omni Rod. Oh my god, why? Why? The Cognitome, which is another one with a face. The Albaran, which is nothing too fancy, honestly. The Onion Shield. And the Ancient Buckler. Yep. That was not worth it. Yeah, no. That ain't amazing. Oh well. Let's go and now go and continue with this quest. Let's go and now go and continue with... Yes. As a matter of fact, yes. Right. It has been a wild adventure. As I recall, my brother Alfino took the liberty of introducing us when we first met. And last we met. But, for the sake of propriety, Alize Levieur, I thank you for coming. I've heard much and more of your exploits. By your hands the Black Wolf is slain and his ultima weapon destroyed. You are possessed of great strength and courage, that much is plain. I shall have need of one such as you, if I am to see my mission through to its conclusion. As you may be aware, the violence of Dalamud's fall changed not only the face of the realm, but also the base of the realm. Specifically, it played havoc with the etheric currents, creating vast confluences of ether below the surface. Among other phenomena, this led to the formation of subterranean caverns at key points of stress. One such cavern lies beneath Castrum Archidens, and extends to only the gods know where. Despite appearances, Castrum Archidens is as much a research facility as it is a fortress. Gaius van Baelsar chose the site for no other reason than to probe the caverns without interference. As you went about vanquishing the returning primals, I observed a repeating wave pattern in the ether, corresponding exactly to the dates on which you were reported to have felled Ifrit, Titan, and Garuda. Upon closer examination, it became clear that these unique waveforms emanated from deep beneath the aforementioned stronghold. Crucially, I recorded the same pattern during the recent celebrations, and have since been given to understand that this phenomenon bears a disquieting similarity to one observed shortly prior to the calamity. 5 years ago, my grandfather invoked the power of the 12 that he might contain Bahamut. Alas, his efforts failed, and he vanished, together with his foe. I would know the truth of what transpired that day, of grandfather's fate, and of the metamorphosis that swept across the land. In casting light upon these mysteries, you will find a way to cure what ails this world. It is my belief that the answers I seek lie hid within the depths of the cavern. I would have you accompany me on an expedition to find them, Lyn. If to be told, I am not wont to rely upon others, and have thus far handled matters alone. Yet I am not blind to my limitations. Unescorted, I cannot hope to succeed in this endeavor. I swore that I would find a way to restore peace to Eorzea. If you desire the self-same, then aid me, as you aided my brother and the Scions. I am in your debt. You are a woman of action, and I sense that we will accomplish much together. But let us not waste any more time. As I mentioned, Castrum Archidens straddles the cavern I wish to explore. If I am to have a hope of reaching it alive, I will need you to infiltrate the stronghold first and locate a path into the depths. Once you have done so, pray report your success to Storm Private Jabroka. Sure. You may consider her my assistant here in Wineport. I have every faith that you will not fail me. 12, speed your way, Lyn. Alright. Gotta get a move on. And unlock the coils of Bahamut. This way I will be fully prepared for when we actually do them. This fucking cat, what the hell is it doing? Let's exploratory site gate. Interacting. I found a way. Time to go back and report. Kowalski, status report. I've been expecting you, Lynn. By your coming, I take it you have successfully located the cavern entrance inside Castle Archidance. So that's where it's to be found. Marvelous. Oh, but allow me to properly introduce myself. Jabrocka is my name, and it's my honor to serve Lady Alizé. Though, for reasons of convenience at present, I also serve the Maelstrom. This uniform accords me certain privileges, you see. In particular, ready access to the Maelstrom's regional scouting reports. They provide a wealth of local knowledge, including information on secret passages. But enough about me. I shall notify Lady Alizé of your discovery, that she may prepare for the expedition. Though I don't doubt your abilities, none can say what dangers lurk beneath Castle Archidance. For my lady's sake, as well as your own, please spare neither preparation nor caution. Pray choose your companions well. Alright, so Duty Finder has been updated with the Binding Coil of Bahamut, which has 5 turns. To continue the Coils of Bahamut, like to continue the story, by the way, you only need to do turn 5, I'm pretty dang sure. However, we are going to do all of them, because why wouldn't I do all of them? Anyway, my friends, that, however, is going to be something for the next episode. This is going to be an interesting thing for me to record. So, I hope you enjoyed this episode of just us playing Final Fantasy XIV. And next episode, we are going to go and do the coils, or in any case, the first part, the Binding Coils of Bahamut. Goodbye.